Hi, my name is Elizabeth Pampalone, and thank you for watching this video. This video is going to be about blogging. Now, a few years ago, I developed something called Absolute Marketing, and it allowed me to streamline all of my marketing and condense it down into just 5 days. And I do all of that work in 5 days, and it gives me an entire year of marketing. Now, blogging is a big part of that. Blogging for SEO is something that I believe very strongly in. I think that SEO has gotten way out of hand and everybody thinks that they know everything about it, and really we don't know anything about it. Honestly, I'm being honest with you. As a marketer, we know nothing. However, there are a few things that can help your website, help your business grow using SEO, but there's no silver bullet, there's no magic formula, so don't think that that's what you're getting here because I'm very honest about that. But this is something that can actually help your marketing. Now, I believe that blogging is one of 5 pieces for your marketing, so just keep that in mind that if you're just using blogging, it's probably not going to be as quick as you'd like to see results. So let's get into blogging. The first thing you want to do is talk about what you're already doing. That's my first tip. You have so much content up here. It's all in your brain, and you can actually utilize that because you've already done the work for it. So there's no research involved, there's no brainstorming, there's none of that because you've already done the work and you don't even realize it. So let's dive into that a little bit. Your brain has already answered probably 10 questions today about your business. And those questions can be amazing blog posts. And you might think those blog posts are going to be really short and they're not going to have enough content. And how am I going to do that? Actually, the blog posts that you usually do that are the short ones, maybe 9 or 10 sentences, which is what I recommend. You can actually do that, and that's like a perfect size of a blog post because you've probably seen blog posts where they just go on and on and on, and they're not very productive because you're not going to sit there and read them. You're not getting anything out of it. So what I like to do is write 3 sentences for my introduction, 3 sentences for my closing, and then in the middle, if I have more, just general content, maybe it's more commentary-like of a post, then I can put 3 sentences in the middle or more, how many ever you need to. Now, if it's something where I want to say bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, or maybe make a list, 5 ways for that, 3 ways to that. And so if you're going to do one of those, that's your middle section, those 5 ways or 3 tips, whatever it is you're going to put in the middle. 5 is a good number, 3 is a great number, 7 is a little too many sometimes, unless you're giving like tools or really short tips with just 1 sentence each. So you want something that's very glanceable when you're writing your blog post. And a lot of times people are not searching for the best marketing aspects, or something like that. They're not searching for like those like long drawn out words with sentences like that. And that's what I see a lot of blog posts being. Their names are like really long and complicated, the ultimate this and da-da-da. People don't search that way. They search for questions. Google isn't a search engine anymore as much as it is a question engine. So what we want to do is we want to take those questions that people have asked you this week, this month about your business. And even though in your mind you're like, but everybody knows that. No, they don't. So that's what you're going to start with. And if you have those questions, I would just start writing them down. Every time you get a question from someone, write it down. And then go back and look at that list of questions and pick out like the 3 or 4 best ones. I like to write 12 blog posts a year. It gives me a great piece of content every single month that I can send in an email, put on my website, and also, gives me that SEO for my website, and also I can put it on social media. So this blog post isn't just something you're going to shove on your website and hope that somebody finds it. You're going to post it on social, you're going to send an email out about it, and you're going to really get as much traction out of that content as you possibly can. You can also repost the content later in the year. So sometimes I might post something in January and reshare it in June. So that kind of gives you this double cycle every single month. You're posting something in January, reposting it in June, and now you also have a blog post in June. So now you've got 2 posts a month that you can actually utilize. So that's a great way to kind of expand the content that you have and the stuff you're making. You can also repost things the next year. So maybe the content hasn't changed. Maybe there's not really much of an update there. You can just repost it again in January if that's a really solid January post. So remember, go through those questions, think about the content you already have in your brain that you don't have to research, and go ahead and start creating blog posts from that. The other piece you need for a blog post is your graphic. Now, I don't really like to put the words on the graphics. And I'll tell you this for a reason, this reason. In social media, they can get cut off because each social media has a different size. In your blog, they can actually get cut off. Sometimes you'll make the graphic tall, like a Pinterest image, and then you'll go and put it on Instagram, and it centers it, and it's okay. And then Facebook makes it this little squat rectangle, and then so does your blog post might make it a squat rectangle. And so it just never is the right size. So what I like to do is pick an image that represents the blog post or the idea or the sentiment of the blog post without being too literal. So, for example, if I'm talking about 10 things you should buy on Amazon before your next cruise. I don't know, just make up something random. Then I might put something like a phone with an Amazon on it. So it's kind of literal, but like not too literal. I don't need to show like Amazon boxes or like the specific things on Amazon. I can actually just show like a phone with Amazon pulled up on the phone. That's the photo I'm going to use. There's tons of those on like free, royalty-free stock sites. Maybe I'm talking about overcoming a challenge. Maybe I'm talking about part of my story. And that's maybe something a little more abstract. And I don't really have like, oh, I'm going to talk about divorce. Well, there's not really great pictures about that, or working with your spouse. So I might find like a picture of like a mountain or maybe two people doing something together that's going to help represent that imagery without it being like a picture of a married couple or a picture of two people like kissing or something. You don't want to go too literal and be like, this is a spouse, maybe just two people like walking together or running together, or maybe two people like in a boat rowing, like anything like that will work for like working with your spouse. And then for like the struggle, overcoming a struggle type of post, you might post, like I said, like a mountain, a landscape, something like that. But you don't have to put words on it because this is not going to be something that you need to do that with. Now, if you want to create separate images for your social and put those out there with the title on it, that's fine. But I find that as long as the title is listed and then you have the image separately, you don't always need an image with a title on it. And again, like I said, it can get cut off and weird. So for the blog post, let's just break down the few pieces you need, which we've already discussed. You're going to need a great title. And usually the title is the question that you're going to use. So you don't have to really worry about it too much if you're going to do the questions. So you're going to have your question as your title. Then you're going to write 9 sentences or more. So the 3 sentences for your opening, 3 sentences for your closing, and then something in the middle, whether it's 3 more sentences for your body, or maybe it's 5 ways or 3 tips or something like that in the center. And that can be each tip and each like way or whatever can actually be just like one sentence with a little, be kind, and then talk about why you should be kind in that sentence. So then you'll have your middle there, and you don't have to worry a ton about keywords. I wouldn't, worry about that, because what you're going to do is you're going to write from a place of authenticity. And when you write from a place of authenticity, you don't need keywords, because the people who need you will find you. And also, if you're writing those questions the way you need to be writing them, so if you have a question about, why should I use social media over, why do I need a website over just using social media? That's a great question, and I can actually really expound on that while being very, very simple. Having like maybe 5 bullet points, 5 reasons you should have a website instead of just social media. And I might even just title the actual article, why do I need a website when I have a social media account? And then in the title in the article, like as a subtitle, I'll put 5 reasons you need a website in addition to your social media or something like that, right? So that's what's going to be in your blog post. Maybe you put that subtitle as like your true title of your blog post, but really the title that's going to catch the search engines is that question, which is what someone actually may type in. So once you've got those pieces, you got your title, you've got your body of your work there, then you got to get that great picture, maybe like I said, from those free stock sites, really, really simple to get from any of the free stock sites like Unsplash, etc. And then you want to find a time to post it. Now, this is another piece that a lot of people mess up. There actually is no real right time to post great time to post a blog post. I actually had to have a guy on my podcast coming up talking about this soon. Lee Barnatham, he's an awesome writer, and he's going to be talking about that on my podcast. But the real right time to post is when your people are reading. And so my people are like early birds, 5 a.m. Like they want to see me in their inbox early. So I post my blog post usually around 5 a.m. and also my podcast, and then it goes out as an email early in the morning, sometimes before my people are even awake, but they're early risers. So as soon as they get in their inbox 5, 6, 7 a.m., they see my blog post right away. because my people that I'm looking for and that I'm trying to connect with, they are business owners, they are driven, and they are like in this as their job. This is their career. It's not just some little side thing or whatever. So I know that they are like online early, they are looking in their email, and that's where my people are. If your people are moms, if they are, stay-at-home moms and they're like running this business on the side, maybe like the 2 p.m. afternoon nap is like a perfect time, or maybe like the evening is a better time because that's when they're going to be really fresh and ready to see it, because they're maybe not coming online as much until then. So think about your audience and think about when you should be posting. And then once you do that, it should also auto trigger an email to go out to your email list. That's a very simple setup. It's literally like takes a few minutes just to set that up in your email list and email system. And then what you want to do is maybe even connect that RSS feed also to your social scheduler, like a calendar, and that will auto feed to your social media when it posts as well. So just some tips there on social media, a little bit of blogging, a lot of blogging, and a little bit of email marketing in there as well. And I hope this has helped you out. And if you're interested in working with me or any of my team on Absolute Marketing, which is again my 5-day system that helps you to create all of your marketing for an entire year in just 5 days, please reach out. You can go to getabsolutemarketing.com. I have a challenge going on right now. It's a 5-day marketing fix challenge, and I'd love to have you in there. It's free to join us. It does help you to fix 5 pieces of your marketing to actually get it jump started. And I also have a tools list that I've vetted. So all the tools I've mentioned today, the stock images, the tools that I use for my social media, and the email marketing tools that I use, all of those I've vetted, and I've actually found an entirely perfect, like the perfect list of tools. And I've put that on my website as well. So if you want to jump in there and put your email in, you'll actually get a list of those tools and why you would use them and how you would connect them together. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys, on a call soon. Talk to you later.